Good afternoon. On behalf of the Bureau County Historical Society, I'd like to welcome you to Oakland Speaks 5. We're disappointed that the weather predictions did not allow us to be outside in beautiful Oakland Cemetery, but we're very appreciative of the use of the Bureau County Metro Center and their accommodating staff to bring the program to you today. And a big thanks to all of you who have helped put this program together. Thanks too to all of you for your continued interest and support of our organization. Following today's presentation, refreshments will be served as you exit the door to my right. Some displays and pictures relating to today's program will be on display, as well as a gift shop area, which we really hope you will visit. The grave sites of today's subjects have been marked on the map in your programs, and they have been flagged at the cemetery if you wish to drive or walk through. Please take a moment now to silence your electronic devices, and please no flash photography. Now, let's take a step back in time about 100 years and prepare to meet some dearly departed townspeople. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present Judge Rolla Russell.
Thank you, I appreciate those kind words. I want to welcome you all here this afternoon. I am Rolla Lee Russell, and I would ask you to imagine in your mind that we are in a green, grassy, beautiful park area in the middle of Oakland Cemetery. You are about to meet some interesting people and hear some interesting stories. These reenactors, these characters here have stories to tell you that you'll find, I believe, fascinating. But before I'm to introduce the first character to you, I am to tell you a bit about myself. I have strong ties to Princeton. I served as judge, I served as postmaster, I was mayor, and practiced law in the community for over 50 years. But my story begins before I moved to Princeton in 1897. I was born in November 21st, 1864, just a few weeks after Abraham Lincoln had been elected to his second term as President of the United States. I grew up a farm boy, worked on the farm with my parents, and when I attended high school, I helped pay for my tuition and board by working part-time as a janitor in the school district in Shelby County, Illinois. Following graduation, two of my brothers and I thought that we would go west. People went west in those days, and we thought we would go west and find our fortune. So we left Illinois and went west to Colorado in a covered wagon, and did not find our fortune there, but we did find work. We worked in Colorado for a while and then went to Kansas and did farm work, farm labor work in Kansas. I left my brothers in Kansas. I went to Topeka, or to Texas, and worked again in farm fields in Texas until we got the itch to come back to Illinois, and I came back to Illinois and enrolled in the Dixon Business School up in Dixon, Illinois, just north of here, and I took courses in business and in teaching. I graduated in 1886 and taught in country schools in Lee County. I taught for several years, and I enjoyed teaching, but I didn't feel that was to be my life's work, so I returned to Dixon and enrolled in the Dixon College of Law. I continued to teach, went to law school, graduated, took the state bar, and passed the bar exam in Illinois, and in June of 1892 I was enrolled as a lawyer in Illinois. But given my teaching history, I continued in that profession. I was principal at the Ohio School District, just north of Princeton, for a couple of years. I enjoyed that. It was, teaching is an honorable profession, and But the most interesting, one of the most interesting thing that occurred to me while teaching in Ohio was in the summer of 1893. I did what teachers, I believe, still do today. They take jobs in the summer. And I took a job that summer as a guard at the World's Columbian Exposition in Chicago. It was a World's Fair to commemorate the 400th anniversary of Christopher Columbus discovering the Americas. And oh, what a pageant that was. We saw marvelous things there. If you can imagine, well, this would mean nothing, I guess, to you. You're used to this, but we had the entire exposition grounds lit by electric light. It was really something. I returned to Ohio, and after the school year ended in 1894, then that summer I opened a law office in Ohio and practiced law. I also took over the operation of the local newspaper, the Ohio Herald. I was the editor and the publisher. Some of you may remember that newspaper. It folded, I believe, several years ago. However, the most interesting period in my life at that time was getting to know a young school teacher, Helen McLean. She taught in a country school. Just a little bit of a thing. Smart as a whip. Good looking. A good gal. And I courted her and asked her to marry me. She accepted. We were married then on November 21st, 1895. That was my 31st birthday. It was a nice birthday present. We continued to live in Ohio for a few years, worked, and she taught, and then we moved to Princeton to start our family in 1867, and I opened my law office in Princeton at that time. At that time, Princeton was a growing, very busy retail center in the community, in the county. And one of the people that helped make Princeton such a success was a man I'm going to introduce to you now. He was a businessman, a retail businessman, both in Wyanett and in Princeton. In fact, the building that he built for his retail shop in Princeton on Main Street, the White House, still stands today and has been a landmark in Princeton for over 100 years. This is one interesting man, energetic, innovative. He was a real blessing to Princeton retail. And I want to introduce to you now Mr. N.W. Isaacson. Mr. Isaacson.